Ooh, poke him.
Hi guys, welcome to my channel. So today I am building a modern version of Copperdale High School. I have seen a few speed builds on YouTube thus far, and I wanted to try something a little bit different. I know this pack does lend itself to be a little more art deco, but I was hoping with my version I could create something that looked a little bit newer and maybe like a renovated school. This is my first speed build on YouTube, so if you guys have any suggestions or there's anything that you would like to see, let me know. The first thing I'm doing here is kind of carving out the shell. I actually went with a version of a high school that I saw on Pinterest, which I will insert an image of the school here. I just kind of wanted to go for something that was a little bit more unique in shape, but I wanted to make sure when you did enter the school that there was kind of a grand entrance with the stairway here. So now I'm kind of carving out some of the other floors of the school. I was going for a 3-story build. I was hoping that on the first floor that could kind of be the main entryway and the part that the students kind of congregate at in the beginning of school. So you've got the lunchroom and things like that. The second floor is where the majority of the tasks will be done throughout the day. I did playtest this build and it was very easy to use. I did feel with EA's default build, it was a little bit difficult getting around the school throughout the day. I feel like the time goes by so quickly in The Sims. I did delete all of my mods, so I normally do slow down time a bit, which I feel like in the future will actually help the gameplay of the high school pack. But as of right now, obviously we don't have that. So I tried to make the school a little bit smaller and a little bit more close together so that you could play and be able to experience the school as best you can without having to spend a lot of time walking around the hallways. These two areas here that I'm creating are actually going to be the classrooms, so they're right next to one another. So depending on which one you get, it'll both be on the second floor. And then I've also placed the principal's office and the teacher's lounge on the second floor as well. The third floor I will be designating towards more of the skill building items. So I put an art class in there that has like some instruments and things like that. And then I also have another room for like painting and woodworking and things like that. I also do end up extending the building a little bit here, which you'll see. And I end up adding a pool and also a gymnasium. So I was kind of envisioning this school would be something that, again, maybe somebody decided that this old school that was Copperdale High needed to be redone and rebuilt, and they, had an architect design it, which is exactly what happened with the inspiration picture that I pulled, actually. So I wanted to have a lot of windows, so a lot of light and a lot of spaces where the students could look out. I did use a few other packs here. I was careful to not use too many items from certain packs. Like I did use Laundry Day, but it literally is one item. So if you end up downloading this on the gallery, you'll just be missing that one item. I did use the windows from the Eco Lifestyle pack because I felt like they really fit. They were a little more thin. So I end up changing those front ones a little bit later, which you'll see into the Eco Lifestyle ones. They kind of fill the whole space, so I felt like it matched the vibe of what I was going for a little bit better than the bulkier windows. And so I'm just finishing up with all of these windows. I've got those two there. I kind of like the vibe of them from the Eco Lifestyle pack. And then those doors there are going from the library and the cafeteria outside because there'll be like a little patio where students can sit and eat or hang out before class. And I also did decide to put some interior windows. I thought that might be a little bit nice to have, your Sims hanging out and they can kind of, look into the other classrooms and the other areas. I thought that would be nice on the first floor. I wanted to keep it nice and open. So that structure there that I created is going to be the gym. I did use City Living as well because I wanted to use the basketball pack. I thought that made the most sense. I mean, I've never seen a high school without a basketball court, so I thought that it would be a nice addition. I was kind of struggling as to what I wanted the school colors to be too. I wanted to make sure to theme that pretty well when I went through with the furnishings. I do feel like a lot of high schools have, their school colors everywhere. So initially I was thinking of an emerald green and a gold because I thought that that would fit really nicely with the theme that I was going for. But there wasn't really an emerald green color in a lot of the things that I chose. So I went up going for blue and yellow. And I feel like that worked out really well. There were quite a few things that I could use from all of the packs that I chose. I did also use Discover University because I feel like a lot of the items are kind of catered, obviously, towards school. So I used that pack as well. And I feel like that worked out pretty well as well. And I'm just adding some windows towards the pool. Now, I don't know how many high schools actually have a pool, but again, I felt like this would be kind of like a more elevated school experience, and, they would probably have a swim team or something like that. I know that that's not something that's actually a part of school, so I felt like it wasn't a huge deal that it's kind of off the main school and it's not super accessible. I mean, it is, but it would take a while to kind of get over there. But it's nothing that is necessary for the school day. So after school or before school, your Sims could use that portion. I added also some of the columns from the Eco Lifestyle pack. I feel like they kind of matched the industrial modern vibe that I was going for. And then I'm just putting some trim on the top of the house. I decided to change that to black to match the windows in just a bit as well. I did also choose to match the facade of my inspiration picture, so I went with brick on most of the second floor. And then some of the pieces that are jutting out are using that brick as well. And then I use like a lighter brick for the right side of the school, if that makes sense, and then the first floor of the gym and the pool area. I did also add some fountains here, which is definitely something I've never seen at a school myself, but I feel like that would also be in a more modern school or something that was renovated, so I thought that looked kind of cool. I do end up changing these plants out in just a bit. I actually use some from Debug. I really like some of the Debug items. There's not a whole lot from the new pack, but there are a few different items that I ended up using in Debug. I was trying to decide on what I wanted to do for the front of the school. I ended up going with like this walkway, and there's a lot of areas where they can kind of walk around the school before or after the school day. You can only get to the back of the school if you are outside from the left side of the building. The right side I kind of closed off a bit, so there's not a path to get back there, but you can go through the school or whatever. And then on the right hand side, I end up doing kind of like a little courtyard that they can hang out in again before or after school. And again, I'm making this courtyard area here, so I just use the platform tool to lower the terrain. And then I end up adding a statue and some chairs in just a bit as well. Those are the new Debug plants that I ended up using. So just working on a little bit of landscaping here. To be honest, it is not my forte necessarily, but I tried my very best. I did want to add this logo into the center. I thought it would look kind of cool, but it didn't really fit. I don't know, it just was glitching on the platforms. And then I wanted to use that, I don't know what it's called, the womp womp or something in the middle, but it just looked kind of funky. So I used the founder statue. I thought it kind of matched the aesthetic of what I was going for. And I just envisioned that an area where the students could study or read or whatever before school. I believe those trees are also from, not sure if they're base game or city living, but I thought they looked nice there. I do also later end up changing this school sign out for one that's more modern. It wasn't from the high school pack. I believe that's also from city living, but I felt like it matched the aesthetic a little bit better. I was just choosing the flooring here. I decided to go with the one from Eco Lifestyle that kind of has the, I don't know if that's a hexagon shape. And then just placing some of the doorways for the classrooms and the teacher's lounge and things like that. I did also add a couple more internal windows, and I did a lot of clear doors. I felt like that would match well as well. I do end up changing the walls later. I think I go for something a little bit lighter at first, but then I ended up changing it to a base game wall that I actually really liked. It was a little bit darker, and I feel like overall the school is very bright, but the dark walls, when they did show, made it pop a little bit more. I also start to create like a little nook here, but I figured that it made a little more sense on the right side. So I actually switched that out and I add some TVs there and then some chairs for the students to sit at. I do first go with something from Eco Lifestyle, but I end up changing those to Discover University chairs later because I totally forgot about them, and they have the blue and yellow swatches, so I ended up going with those. So this is kind of a disregard. I did like these initially, but they were a little too light. I wanted something a little bit brighter. So I did also place some a trophy stand and some of the career day tables here as well. I thought that might be a good area for that to happen. And then I added some clutter items around here, thinking Sims would come here in the morning and place their bags down or their books. And then I think this is where I'm picking some of the wall swatches, and I go for the darker one at some point, I believe. Yep, that's the one I ended up going with. And I also added that debug. I'm not sure what pack that's from. I forget, but that scoreboard, I thought it went well with the basketball court. I saw a couple of other people do that with their builds. Also, if you guys know if I'm doing platforms wrong, I'm not really sure if I am, because every time I make platforms, it deletes the wall behind it. I'm not sure if that's just how it works or if I'm doing it wrong. And then here we're in the cafeteria. I was trying to use these tables, but they look a little, they fit the vibe of the pack, but not what I was going for. So I ended up using these base game round tables. I thought they worked a little bit better. And then I did use some of the chairs from the new pack, but they were the nicer ones. I did feel like I had plenty of room during the school day in the lunchroom. There was actually, I think, 2 tables filled up completely, and one of the other ones filled up a little bit. So it was plenty of room for what you need. Later on, I end up adding something here. I'm not sure. I think I might do it in just a bit. But I did add some of these banners from the Discovering University pack as well. And that's the new sign that I chose. And again, just putting down some items from Debug. Yep, and that's the one that I end up going with behind the lunch stand there. This is the library, so I did put some of the paintings of like outer space. I'm not sure. I think I got those with cheats enabled. I'm not really sure where those came from. And then I did do a little desk here where I pictured the librarian would sit. No one actually sits here, but I felt like it was a good aesthetic. I was trying to figure out what chair to put here. I ended up going with a similar one to the ones in the lunchroom. I think it's a little bit different though. And then I did also put a few clutter items on the desk, and then I was looking for the filing cabinet here, I believe, but I ended up putting that next to the desk. I felt like that matched well, and they had the color swatches that I was looking for as well. I would love to know if you guys do play with this school. If you have any issues with it or there's anything missing, let me know and I'd love to update it. I will be uploading it to the gallery, so you can check the link in my description for that. I was trying to decide which bookshelves I wanted. I ended up going with the ones that came with the pack, but I tried the ones from Discovering University first. I thought those might fit, but they weren't quite modern enough. And I did put some chess tables here. There is a chess school activity, so I figured this is where they'll end up meeting. I haven't joined any of the school activities yet. I'm not sure if they're all done in school or if some of them are rabbit holes. I think I heard some of them are, so that was kind of interesting. But I think the chess club, they end up meeting in the library. The lockers that I put on the second floor are the functional lockers. I did put lockers on the third floor as well, but they are not functional. They're just the decorative ones. I felt like going up to the third floor, honestly, during a school day was not really something that you needed to do. Unless, obviously, you had extra time and wanted to send your Sims to skill build. But otherwise, you really don't have to leave that second floor besides for lunch or on the first day of school when you have to meet the principal. But that is also on the second floor. There was like a little nook here, and this is by where the walkway is. So like that all glass walkway to get to the pool and the gym. So I just put like a little seating area and some more vending machines. This is the first of the 2 classrooms. Now the classrooms are very small. Again, I tried to make this school small intentionally because, again, it really is not the best to have them wandering around, and I was late to class the first time I played on the EA build because I couldn't get my sim there fast enough. But I was kind of playing around with this and trying to figure out how I wanted the desks set up. I tried to do like a, I don't know, kind of like a college lecture hall look, but it wasn't working because it was just too small. So I ended up reconfiguring some of the desks and seating them together. And then this bathroom here only has 2 toilets. It didn't fit 3, but I felt this was good enough. And then there's another bathroom over by the pool area as well. And then I have one on the third floor too. This here is supposed to be like a janitor's closet. So I was just going through debug trying to find some of the items that I wanted to use there. This item of the broom that's in there is the only thing from the Laundry Day stuff pack. So again, if you don't have that, it's totally fine. It just won't show up when you download it from the gallery. I did pretty much mimic the layout of both of these classrooms, so they're very similar. There's a couple of different things, but again, they're so small that there wasn't too much room to decorate the classroom itself. I tried to put some things on the wall that made sense, but in terms of the extra furniture pieces, I couldn't really fit much. I did use a dining room table instead of a desk for the teacher's chair because I was unsure of what I could use for the desk. I haven't tested it a different way, but I wasn't sure if it was a desk, if a student would try to sit at it. And I wasn't sure about that principal's desk because I think the principal will try to sit in the classroom desk if it's the same one, like that one that came with the pack, the longer one that you'll see me use in the principal's office as well. I did use in that classroom on the right, like the bear poster and the waterfall poster. I feel like it looks like those like inspirational posters that I always remember being in school. I didn't really try to theme these too hard because, again, they're just so small and I wanted to make sure it made sense for whatever class was there. So this is me furnishing the principal's office. So again, that's the desk. I did set up some sparkling water, a picture. I figured that would be like a picture of her family. And then I placed some of those file folder clutter options. I did put those same chairs that I've used throughout the build in here as well. And then I think I give her like a little filing cabinet that came with the pack as well. I figured, again, I made her office a little bit more modern because the school is newer, so I gave her like that nice rug. I actually really like that rug from the new pack. I also put some photos of Brightchester in there. I figured that if the students were going to talk to the principal, maybe they would talk about their future and where they were going to go to college. I also put a nameplate on her desk. I thought that was pretty fitting. And then here we're just working on the teacher's lounge. So I went with a kind of simple design, and then I also used some accent colors from the school. So I used like the blue and the yellow. I can't remember if I end up changing those. I think I might have changed the color of the chairs, but I'm not sure. I also put the Sims in uniform calendar in there. I thought that'd be kind of funny. Like maybe I don't know. I don't know if it's supposed to be like a risque calendar or what, but I thought that would be kind of funny in the teacher's lounge. And then I put like an exit sign and some fire info and a little billboard. I tried to clutter it up a little bit, but still keep it nice and sleek for them. And then this is just the hallway that connects the school to the pool and things like that. So I just placed some seating in there. And then both of the levels are the same in terms of the couches. And then on both the second and third floor, there's an opening where you can look down to the first floor. This is the third bathroom, and there were 3 toilets and sinks in there. I also made a computer lab, so I did try to give them like a more modern, nice one. I was thinking of doing computers on each side, but it was way too many, so I ended up just doing 3 at each table. I still honestly feel like that might be too many, but hey, you never know what you're going to need them for. And then I just placed some seating here, some clutter items. I ended up putting some clutter on the tables with the computers as well. I think I put like a stack of CDs. And then again, I used those space photos. I also did use the debate stand from Discovery University. I just thought that that might be a good idea to get the research and debate skill up before they go to college. And I also put the research computers in the library as well. So there's 3 of those down there if they wanted to work on the research and debate skill. And then this is just the art room. So I put some woodworking tables. I put a candle making station as well from Eco Lifestyle. And then obviously some art. And then this is the music room. I put in 3 guitars and a microphone, and then 3 of the violins. I put some themed pieces that I thought went well with this, and then these are some of the lockers as well on that 3rd floor. I tried to keep the pool very simple. Again, I've never seen a pool in a school. I think most people that were around here used to practice at like rec centers. So I'm not sure what they would look like, but I tried to keep them really, really simple, thinking if they had maybe like a swim meet or something that they'd have some bleachers to sit at. I did also use those dive board stands. So if you don't have, I think it's Get Together, if I'm not mistaken. Oh, I'm sorry, I should know that. I'm not sure which pack that's from, but if you don't have that, it just won't show up. And that pool float and skimmer is from that same pack. And then I did put a bathroom here as well. So this is going to be the closest one. If you're in the pool, I figured that was a good idea too. I also put some more career day tents and tables out here. I felt like that made the most sense, and I put some seating areas around so they'd have a place to sit. I also throw some benches around as well. And then there is a really cute nook where I put the wall mural that is actually from the boba tea shop, but I felt like it made it really cute. But that is all. Thank you guys for watching, and please subscribe, and I will see you on my next video.